Ubaldo Minelli now. We are in the last hour. Well, no, Group CEO of OTB, so only the brave. The group referring to the Renzo Rosso family.
TB adesso si sa che cosa.
Do we know what OTB is now? Because did the market understand what this name stands for? Not enough, I would say. We're working on that. So you're not at Kering's level. Yes, we still have to work. For this very reason, can you please tell us what's behind, or well, inside, within OTB? Many things. Many tried in Italy to build a group, while Renzo Rosso managed to do it. Everything stems from diesel. The brand that best exemplifies the work of Renzo Rosso. But then we have other brands, Maison Margiela, Marne, Victor and Rolf. The other acquisition we do not control, Amiri. And then we have Stuff International and Brave Kit, which provide services to the group's brands in terms of collection development, collection production and logistics, and they also manage licensed brand, providing distribution services worldwide on all channels. So D Squared, correct? Just Cavalli, Cochet as well. So your turnover in 2019, so pre-COVID, so 2019, 1.5 billion. We were over the 1.5 million threshold amongst the first groups, Italian groups in this area, correct? Yes. What about COVID? You're a very complex system. How did you manage the first wave of COVID? 2019 for us was particularly satisfactory. It was an important year for the group. The year of diesel's turnaround, we managed to grow with all of our brands on all markets and all channels. So some brands fared better, some not so much, but we had a plus for everything. So we were very much ahead in 2019 and in the first 2 months of 2020. For 2020, which was the second year of our 3-year plan adopted by the board at the end of 2018, we had set some very ambitious goals in terms of growth, turnover, and as a group, we wanted to grow in double digit, and we wanted to grow significantly in terms of EBITDA and EBIT. After the first 2 months, we felt we had it in the bag, and then the pandemic hit. We were particularly reactive to engaging the impact and the width of this event, and then we reacted quickly. when we enter lockdown, to manage and face this incredibly complex context, we created a war room, so to speak, which had the task of defining and coordinating the strategic action in the very short term to manage the emergency, of course, and even with medium long term perspective. This group focus on the three main pillars of our groups. So strategic key and strategic assets, which are the same of other groups and companies, so customers, suppliers, and employees. And then during this emergency caused by the pandemic, which was a unique situation, a very uncertain situation as well, we wanted to better manage the cash flow at first. And the income, profit and loss. Then we wanted to leverage the situation. Of course, everyone would have done happily without the pandemic, but we use it as a leverage to accelerate change. Can you please give us an example of that? We discussed e-commerce, virtual showrooms, and digitalization of the company. I'm talking about structural interventions at organizational level as well. I'm talking about acceleration because over the past months, during which we worked a lot. So you met every day? Well, since we created the War Room until July, met every day, even during the weekend, half an hour long meetings. Only on Friday we had 1 hour long meetings, but we defined extreme priorities in War Room. We then gave responsibility to one of the components of the War Room. We were 9 until September, then we're 12 now. Renzo Rosso, is he in the War Room? He is informed of what happens. He participates when he believes that that's necessary. And then since September, since August, we meet 3 times a week. With regard to structural changes, I can give you an example. We worked on organizational aspects. We worked on supply chain, which is particularly important for us, and we are particularly sensitive to this topic. You might remember we had the cash project we launched in 2013. Before it was, mainstream, to support the supply chain and the Made in Italy. The company of the OTB group, which launched this project, was Stuff International. 90% even more than 90% of Stuff International's production is made in Italy. And a healthy supply chain is a necessary condition for Stuff International. To give you some figures, over the course of 6 years, we gave out more than 230 millions, 70, 80 in the past of these 6 months. What do you mean? The concept is really simple. We asked and obtained line of credit, which we guarantee, and we self-inhibited the use of this line of credit, and we put it at disposal of our partners, our Virtus partners in the supply chain. Who's the Virtus partner? Those who, according to clear parameters, are Virtus, so they could access this credit. So everyone complains of banks. So we have really interesting conditions because the line of credit follows OTB's conditions. And you told me you finance your customers, correct? Yes, we had an extremely transparent approach with the customer. When we went in lockdown, we still had to pay for spring-summer 2020 because many customers hadn't finished sales for autumn-winter 2019. So we had orders for autumn-winter 2020 because our sale campaigns were already closed. And we had launched production and order raw materials. Then we had the issues for spring-summer 2021. So 3 seasons were affected by this problem. So we told our customers, don't panic. The garments you ordered are already produced or are under production. So we are your bank and your warehouse, and that happened. We took this decision knowing that this would impact the financial position of the group, and it happened. We, of course, agreed this with the entrepreneurs. Just to mention some more figures, I can tell you that when we went in lockdown, and our group is very stable from our financial standpoint, we never had debt. And when we entered lockdown, we had 130 million in positive financial position. We want to pay the supply chain and we want to respect our supply chain and customers. The fact that we were the bank and the warehouse for our customers, and within 3 months, we basically burned or committed more than 100 million. So we had 25 million as a net position at the end. But that was the right choice. And the transparency really paid off. after a few months now, we're back above 100 million in the net financial position. Orders weren't cancelled, or at least no more than in pre-COVID times. Everyone was concerned with inventory and warehouses, and I have to say that they're in line with previous years. What did you change in your product? How did your collections change? One of the war room streams from day one was the merchandising calendar. So we revisited the collection of the structure of the collection, the timings for delivery, and the sale modes, because we had to sell from a virtual showroom. I want to emphasize that this was accelerated by COVID, but we were already working on this pre-COVID. Okay, that was very interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.